The Museum of Contemporary Art is featuring photos from New York Times Magazine. This is happening every Thursday through the end of August, if you'd like to go out and see it. Jerry Howard and Steve Szyminski are here from U.S. Hearing Aid Centers, and we're talking about hearing loss and what options you have. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You both are hearing aid experts, so they're here to answer questions, and I'm going to try to come up with as many as I can. We're talking hearing loss. Some quick statistics. It is more common in men than women?
Absolutely. Most men, it's a bigger percentage of men than women, but there's about 17% of Americans, which is about 36 million people, actually suffer from hearing loss, of some type of hearing loss.
And when does hearing loss start? Is it something that happens so gradually that you don't notice that it's happening to you?
Well, it's happening at an earlier age now. They're saying between the ages of 24 to 64 that people being exposed have a high-pitched frequency loss due to higher-pitched frequencies. Okay?
And I guess this has to do a lot with the earbuds and all of the things.
Noise exposure and leisure and other activities, absolutely.
Absolutely. What do you guys see in your offices? Now, they're one of the largest hearing aid agencies here around all of North Florida. Is that right? You have, is it 11 different locations?
Actually, we do have 11 different locations, covering all of Jacksonville and surrounding counties, including Fernandina, St. Augustine, and Palatka.
Okay. Now, you brought this in, Steve. I want to know what this is and what you're going to do with it.
This is a video otoscope, and one of the first things we do as part of our hearing test is we always look into a person's ears to make sure that they're clear, there's no abnormalities, that we're not missing a possible infection or something that could cause further damage to a person's hearing. So I'll demonstrate that to you with using Jerry here.
Get up, and this is you call this an otoscope?
Video otoscope, yes.
Video otoscope, okay. So you're going to put this device in his ear, and we're going to be able to see what it looks like here on the laptop?
What we're looking for when we go into the canals, we're looking for a clear canal. We're looking going past the first turn of the ear. We're looking for the eardrum to be translucent in color. We're looking for a protrusion of the malleus bone, a good point of light coming off the eardrum, and clarity all the way around, no wax buildup. Many people have a hearing loss due to just wax buildup.
Okay, so that was the inside of his ear.
That's correct.
And we could see, and it was clear. There was no wax. There was no wax buildup or anything.
There wasn't any wax. We can then review it at any time. If we do see a problem, we can send a picture of this to their doctor or their physician that specializes in diseases of the ear. And if I noticed anything, I would bring that to his attention as well as, expect him to go further with it.
Well, hopefully it is something like earwax or something like that, and it's not otosclerosis or a hardening of the bones in the middle ear and so forth, and it's not something more serious. Because if it is earwax, it's something that they can easily remove.
That is something that can easily be taken care of, absolutely.
That's very good.
And the majority, a lot of times people notice that they do have something and they always put it off as contributing it to being earwax. And then it's actually something that's more than earwax.
What do you, I know there's so many different types of hearing aids, and I know with the technology now, the hearing aids have gotten so much smaller, and they're very discreet. You can wear a hearing aid, and people don't even see it across the room. In the old days, you would look at your grandfather or something, and you would see this huge thing sitting behind his ear, but that's not the case, right, gentlemen?
Not anymore. Today's technology can be as small and discreet as you want it, or for some people with very severe losses, we have a little bit larger type of instrument, but very effective in making sure that they help them with their particular problem. We even have a hearing instrument just introduced that is compatible with the iPhone.
Okay, let's talk about that. That's interesting to me because tell us how it works. This is cool.
It's extremely amazing. It works off an app on your phone where you can control the hearing instrument, whether you're in noise or whether you're in a quiet environment trying to listen in an auditorium, or even to the point where if you lost your hearing aid, you can find it with your iPhone.
A GPS, so it actually tracks your hearing aid, which I think is unbelievable.
It actually has features also that can tell, like if it has what's called a car mode, that the hearing aid will sense if you're doing more than 35 miles an hour. It'll actually sense that and switch automatically into a car mode for those particular environments.
For those people that may not know, that don't wear hearing aids, and the ones that do, explain the difference, because I understand what this is, but many people don't. When you're in an auditorium, you can make your hearing aid pick up directional, if you're listening to a speaker, or if you're in a crowded room and you want to turn down some of the surround sound, so to speak. Tell us about the features hearing aids have nowadays.
Well, that's right, Karen. Most of our newer hearing instruments have directional microphones, and they focus their attention to where the speech is coming from, and they do this automatically. So if there's somebody speaking behind you or in front of you, they directionalize that speech and help you to clarify it. And that's the biggest problem for so many people with hearing loss, is being able to hear clearly.
Mm-hmm. And it's also, it's the frequencies and the tones, and some way the mind actually misses words. We were talking about this the other day with certain vowels and things like that that you don't pick up. What was the example you gave me? I thought it was very helpful.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, there's a big difference between not being able to hear and not being able to understand what's being said. And different types of hearing loss will cause different communication difficulties. You know, you may have a wife walk into her husband and go, "Honey, are you hungry?" And he goes, "I'm not angry." And then and then that starts that communication difficulty. And with the technology that we have today, being able to go in and segregate certain frequencies by using frequency response curves, we're able to do stimulation to be able to segregate those frequencies to bring in the clarity of speech better than just making things louder.
And you can understand. It's not always just a volume thing. It's a clarity thing, and
speech,
to understand. Exactly. Special offers?
Right now, during the month of May, is Better Hearing Month. Any person that wants to come in and have a video otoscope done, and also a full comprehensive hearing exam done, we will do that at no charge.
Wonderful.
We're doing that as a service to the community to raise awareness about hearing loss and to be able to, that's what we really want to bring to the forefront, is bring awareness about it. Mm-hmm. And once we can go in and find out if there actually is a problem and what the problem is, then that's the best thing.
That's where you start. All right, gentlemen,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Valuable advice. Wonderful.
Thank
We're
you.
back in just a moment.